The question says that determine for what values of x, okay, each of the following expressions will be non-real. Now, question A here, we have like square root of x, okay? So in this case, we know it's going to be non-real if x is lesser than 0, okay? And then over there, it's going to be non-real if x minus 3 is lesser than 0. Therefore, x must be lesser than positive 3, okay? And there, it's going to be non-real if x squared plus x is lesser than 0. And then we're going to check x for common factors. It's going to be like x plus 1 lesser than 0. So this is possible. In this case, we need to draw the number line because the critical values here are 0 and -1. Okay, so now we can draw the number line. I'll draw it over there. Where I can place my values -1 in ascending order as usual. And then there you have like open circles and open circles there. Now I'll see if x has a value in this interval, for instance, let's say a number like -2. If we sub -2 and -2 there, we have like a -2 times -1, which makes positive. So this side of the interval will be positive. And then if x has a value of like in between this interval, like -1/2, if I sub -1/2 there and -1/2 there, I'll have like -1/2 times +1/2, that makes -1/4. And then in this other interval, I'll see if I take a number like 1, for instance, it's going to be 1 times 2, which is +2. Okay, so it is true, it's going to be true for any value selected in this interval. Actually, we've split this interval into 3 parts, 1, 2, 3. Okay, then I am going to select like any value here. As I said, I took a number like -2 here, -2. So in my calculator, I will substitute, I'll say -2 open bracket, -2 plus 1. So instead of x, I sub -2, okay, -2 there, and then set equal, that makes +2. So meaning it's going to be positive in this interval for all values, even if you take -5 or -1000, it's going to be the same. Now over here also, I pick up a value between -1 and 0, like -1/2. So it's -1/2 or -0.5. Okay, and then there also I'll select the value like -0.5 and then hit equals -1/4. So it means it's going to be true for any value between -1 and 1, the answer will always be negative. Same also over there, the answer will be always positive. Then it's going to be lesser than 0 if x is in between -1 and 0. So over here I will say if x is -1, it's between -1 and 0, C here will be non-real. So it's going to be non-real here if x is lesser than 0, here if x is lesser than 3, over here if x is in between -1 and 0. Thank you. The question says, for what values of x will this expression be real? Okay, this expression will be real if the condition is that square root of any number a is real if a here is greater or equal to 0. So that's the condition. So it means x squared minus 25 must be greater or equal to 0, which means x squared minus 5 squared is greater or equal to 0. And then we can apply the difference of 2 squared properties here, is greater or equal to 0. Now we can use the number line to determine that. On a place in the value, the critical values are 5 here and -5 there. So I can place in them in ascending order, like 5, actually -5, and then 5. So there, both equals, okay? And then if I take a number lesser than -5, for instance, in this interval, for instance, a number like -6, I'll sub -6 there, sub -6 there. You can use a calculator, okay? I'll sub a number like -6 in the bracket there. X are sub by -6, and then -5. Excuse me, let's just start over. So it's gonna be like open brackets x sub x by -6 -5, close brackets, open another bracket, -6x, which is x plus 5. Okay, wherever we have x a sub by -6, if I pick a value like over here, say if I take a number like -6 in this interval, so I sub by -6 wherever we have x, and then this will be what? Positive 11, meaning all the values in this interval will make this expression to be positive. Now, if I take another number here, like 0, for instance, in this interval, if I sub 0 for x, I'm gonna have -5 times positive 5, that makes -25. So meaning it is gonna be so for all the values within this interval, and then there it's gonna be positive. Now we're looking for the solution that's gonna be greater or equal to 0, meaning it's gonna be here and there. So this is true if x is lesser than or equal to -5, or x is greater or equal to 5. Okay, that's question 3. Well, this question says that show by completing the square that x squared plus x plus 1 equal to the expression on the left, on the right. Okay, henceforth solve for x if this and that. Okay, now let's start by doing A. A is given by x squared plus x plus 1. And then we said that the quadratic equation is given by the form ax squared plus bx plus c. Okay, this is the case where a is just 1, so we don't, a is just 1, we don't need to write a there. And then it means we're going to transform it in the form x minus p to the power of 2 plus q. Okay, this is the completing the square form. And then this is done if by the help of changing the c by c over b to the, over 2 to the power of 2. Now, in this case, the coefficients, we need to determine b. The b value here is just 1. B is the coefficient of x. Okay, b is 1, then we can say c will be equal to b over 2, so 1 over 2 to the power of 2, which is equal to a quarter. Now, I am going to write here x squared plus x, 1x is just x, plus, instead of me writing plus 1, I want to say plus a quarter. And a quarter, I prefer to write a half to the power of 2. I know this is a quarter, okay? But now, initially it was 1, but now we have like a quarter. Okay, if I need to get 1, so I must add to a quarter. What can I add to a quarter to get 1? It's just 3 over 4, because this will be 4 over 4, which is 1. Okay, so I must also add 3 over 4 over there. Then by completing the square, it means I will just select the basis here. I'm just going to take the basis x and a half. Okay, I set them like this to the power of 2, and then I use the sign of the middle term plus. So over here it's going to be x plus a half to the power of 2 plus 3 over 4. And then this is proven. Okay, x plus a half to the power of 2 plus 3 over 4. That was A. And then B, it says hence solve for x if x squared plus x plus 1 is greater than 0. Now, I'm gonna write here Now the question says, hence solve for x if this expression is greater than 0. Now it means if I say, let's do it here, b, so it is x plus r half to the power of 2 plus 3 over 4, okay, greater than 0. And then this is true because we have this form here, which is raised to the power of 2, okay, and positive 3 quarters here. So this is always greater or equal to 0, okay, because any number raised to the power of 2 is greater or equal to 0. And then this is obviously more than 0. And then both of them together combined makes it greater than 0. So I would say that this is the solution here is r is real, or we can say from negative infinity to x less than infinity. Okay, infinity is by this symbol like a sleeping 8. Or 8 rotated 90 degrees. That's B1, and then B2. That was B1, and then B2. X plus a half to the power of 2 plus 3 quarters. You did say this is less than 0. Obviously, we just proved this is always more than 0. Okay, so this is none. So this is none, or no solutions. No solution here. Thank you.